Hello, everybody, and welcome to Machtails from the Cantina Live, episode number 43. May the 4th be with you. On this episode, we are celebrating all things Star Wars as we kick off Star Wars Month. Part of the tribe tonight, we have Richard and Sarah from Skywalking Through Neverland. They will be here to have some fun with their book, Skywalking Through My Fandom. Imperial officer and stormtrooper from Return of the Jedi, an old friend that I had the chance to interview in The Force Within Us, Michael Brown, will be joining the show. Show producer Matthew Rooney will be behind the board this evening. And we have two Mocktails from the Cantina producers joining us. Ian Savage will be here to help us with facts and fiction and some Star Wars dates that we should remember.
I've isolated the reverse power flux coupling.
And to top it off, we have a very rare special appearance by show producer Brian Klein. He will be here to share some news that you might have missed that was announced today.
We shall double our efforts.
Sit back, crack open a cold one, smoke if you got 'em. I am your show host and documentarian that brought you The Force Among Us, The Force Within Us, The Walkers Among Us, the real fans of the saga, and we are live inside the Wampa Cave. Let the tomfoolery and hijinks begin. Show for you guys tonight, as you can see, May the 4th be with you. It always feels funny saying that. It sounds like I have a lisp. 4th. That's not force. It's like Daffy Duck saying force. But anyways, this is a Hallmark holiday, and I was not a big fan of it in the beginning because it was stealing my thunder from May 25th, the original Star Wars Day that, Empire May 21st. But the original Star Wars Day, May 25th, A New Hope, and Return of the Jedi, which I just saw last night with my daughter. Man, I have never cried so much watching Return of the Jedi. That movie is becoming like really, really, really good wine. It is aging perfectly. Over 40 years. But, I'm celebrating May 4th, and thank you guys for joining me this evening. I want to talk about an event. But first, you guys know how it goes. The drinking word of the night. I'm going to use the Force. Drinking word is Force. Matthew Rooney is behind the board. Thank you very much, Matthew. And don't forget to join us on Patreon. Every time you hear the word Force, drink responsibly and only if you are 21 and over. I wonder how many people are actually wanting to watch Mocktails from the Cantina that are under 21. It's like a bar. You can get in, but you can't sit at the bar because you're underage. Good Guy 10 has the Patreon member names. A lot of cool prizes, a lot of cool swag we give away. Want to talk about an event that is happening starting today, May 4th, at the Otherworld Theater in Chicago. On Saturday, they will be screening The Force Within Us as it celebrates the 10-year anniversary. Yes, Michael Brown will be joining the show today. You guys remember him from that film. But check out otherworldtheater.org. They're doing a lot of really cool Star Wars stuff, from podcasts, book signings, theatrical productions, the screening of my film. The next Mocktails from the Cantina Live is debuting in Chicago for the first time on May 6th as well. If you guys are in the Chicago area, buy your ticket and have a drink with me. They have a bar at this venue. You can't get a better venue than one that has a bar. Hey, I want to bring on my brother Matthew Rooney and kind of do something a little blasphemous here. He had met somebody from the Star Trek franchise. Now, Matthew, you met George Takei today, didn't you?
I met George Takei.
Takei. I always say his name right. I always say his name right. But how did this happen? I mean, he's a legend. How did this happen? And did you know this was going to happen, or did you find out today?
Well, it's kind of funny. Well, I knew he was going to be here. So in Southeast Arkansas, there were 2 Japanese American internment camps during World War II, and he was interned at one of them for part of the time. He lived in Southern California, and then he was brought out here on the train, and then he went to another camp in Northern California. But about 10 years ago, they made a museum out of the railway station where they would have come in on the train from the West Coast. And so he came out when they did the 5-year anniversary of the museum, and then now on the 10-year anniversary as well. So it's kind of funny because the guy who sort of was introducing the event, the mayor of McGee, which is the town or the city where the museum is, he also said Takai, and so George had to correct him as well. But yeah, George was the keynote speaker, and then he also said he would take photographs with people and sign stuff if they wanted him to, very generously. And so
that is awesome. And you know what? It is Asian Pacific Heritage Month as well, so that kind of ties in with the month as well. But did you confuse anybody when they said, "Hey, may the 4th be with you"? And you're like, "Hey, I'm hanging out with George Takei today."
Yeah. One of my colleagues, one of the psychology professors here, she sent me a text saying, "May the 4th be with you," and then I responded with my photo with George, and I said, "Live long and prosper." And then of course Tyler Page is upset that I'm doing Star Trek stuff on Star Wars Day.
Hey, well, you know what though? Here's the thing. I've never been a hater, and I know it's a little blasphemous to do it on May the 4th, but it happened today. And to talk about this down the road, one, it's going to get lost in translation because there's always so much stuff that we have to talk about. And 2, you got to be in the moment, man. And it happened today. And thank you so much for sharing that cool story. Now, if Dan Manson was tuning in, which unfortunately Dan is not joining us tonight, but Richard and Sarah from Skywalking Through Neverland are, along with Michael Brown, Dan Manson would be all about this story, even if it is May 4th.
Yeah, I'm sure he would. Yeah, I'm waiting for him to comment on my Facebook posts.
Yeah, it'll be a matter of moments. Our brother Dan Manson is always active in the world of social media. But without further ado, I want to bring on somebody that I feel like doesn't get enough time on the show. Ian Savage is here to kind of break some, not break some, but kind of fill us in with some facts. Producer Ian Savage, hey man, welcome to the show. Where does this holiday originate from? I had talked to Stephen Sansweet about this 2 years ago now, but just bring us up to date because some of us, we might not think about this on a day-to-day level.
Hello, Chris. Hello, Machtails fans. Hello, universe. Happy May the 4th.
Happy May the 4th, man.
Yeah, exactly. This mic is a prop. It doesn't work. I couldn't get it working. Yeah, I went looking for the first instance of May the 4th in the relation to the date exactly. And the first thing I came up with, and I feel like a bad Star Wars fan because this sounds like something, the more I look at it, it comes up on more sites. I'm like, I should have known this as a Star Wars fan. What would be your first guess as the first reference to May the 4th?
Well, it's got to be post 2002 because it's Celebration 2. That was over May 4th. And May 4th was not a thing in Indianapolis. So it's got to be post that in the world of Star Wars fandom. Maybe somewhere else it was mentioned.
Yeah.
And that's why you're here.
Well, that's why I told you. I was like, this seems like a holiday that's an internet meme holiday where it's only come around here, once the jokes, were made and all that. But no, the first reference that I saw, and a lot of people did, was in 1979, the day Margaret Thatcher was elected, the first female prime minister of the United States. Her party took out a newspaper ad saying, "May the 4th be with you, Maggie. Congratulations."
And this is when?
1979. She won. Was elected the first female prime minister of the United Kingdom. So yeah, that was the first instance of May the 4th. And I thought, I was like, oh, that's cool. I found that. No, it's on many sites. But
No, is
did you
this
know
legitimate
about
though?
this?
This is not. It does ring a bell. Yes, I remember there was some political campaign attached to this, but this checks out to be completely legit. It's not like a Photoshop kind of thing.
Well, exactly. No, I've read it in a couple ones, but the pictures I tried to search, they all were suspect, except for BBC One News, I believe, is in the bottom corner there. So if the Brits are saying it, I'm gonna take it.
Well, it only makes sense too, right? Because Star Wars was Star Wars and Britain is kind of like Jimi Hendrix and Britain. They really made a name for themselves there. Obviously, they filmed over in the UK. They were filming Empire Strikes Back during that
Yeah.
time. Oh, there's so many British actors and actresses that are in the original trilogy. It only makes sense.
That's the thing. I think it's always been kind of like a give and take, a push and pull, a tug of war for where does Star Wars lie as far as an American property, because it's most of the work was done. The great work that we know as far as like the sets and all that stuff have been done at in the UK.
Yeah, at Elstree Studios. Yeah, so
Elstree. Yes, I was blanking there from people hearing me do that.
But you know what? I do think that the thing about the Brits, and David Gladding, who is a Patreon member, he's from there originally. I think their mentality is so chill that they're like, you know what? Star Wars was here first. They don't need to fight or prove anything, because their mentality is not so high strung out like people here in the States, like myself.
No, exactly. Chris, is there a moment when you're not high strung?
You know what? When I'm sleeping.
Yes, exactly.
But my mind is always working when I'm sleeping. Hey, we are going to get to our first official guest. That's not a producer of the show, but we will be checking back in with you on some more important dates to remember for the month of May. This is a huge Star Wars month. And without further ado, I would like to welcome Richard and Sarah from Skywalking Through Neverland. How are you guys? You know what? I think there's a mute issue.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Let there be sound. Let there be sound.
You're the third person that's done that. So we've had three times a charm.
Yeah, well, may the 4th be with you. Our good friend Chris Mocked of the Machtails Awesome Show. Love it. Thank you for having us.
And you guys are doing something special today after the show appearance today. What are you guys doing for May 4th?
Well, let's go back to 7 a.m.
Yes.
We were guests on the ABC TV affiliate out here in Los Angeles because they needed some Star Wars experts and Star Wars fandom. Mm-hmm. So they found us through social media and had us on a live TV today to talk about Star Wars fandom. So we started there, and while we're at the Disney Studios, because that's where the ABC TV studio is within the Disney Studios, we thought, let's go grab some breakfast. And then we ended up having these great discussions with all these people who work at Disney and in the digital department and Disney, mm-hmm. and all these really interesting, fascinating people that luckily we didn't hit the freeway, because we thought, let's let traffic die down and we're gonna have some breakfast. And I had my R2-D2 jacket on, and Sarah was all looking like Padme over here. So people kept coming over and talking to us. And after that, we thought, hey, you know what? We got like 6 hours until we have to get a meet with Chris. So let's head over to Disneyland. And I've never seen May the 4th as Star Wars crazy as it is in 2023.
It started out on the tram ride, and the tram operators played the Imperial March all the way. They were like, "Happy May the 4th."
Yeah.
Da, da, da,
I'm not supposed to be doing this, but I'm going to play some Star Wars music.
It was so cool.
And was your visit to Disneyland kind of impromptu?
Yes,
today?
Very much
so.
We got
so I have a feeling this turned in. You guys know this is a holiday, and you guys were in holiday mode because you had a nice breakfast, and you're like, hey, let's just take the day off. let's
Yeah,
go
we
do
knew
it
we
at
had a couple hours
Disneyland.
before we're gonna meet with you.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's go to Disneyland. Sure. It's
What
May the
better
4th. We
what
have
better
to.
way? What better way to spend it? But your May the 4th celebration doesn't end here. What are you guys doing after this?
After this, we're going to be at the Signal Hills Library right here within Long Beach, and we're going to be hosting the Star Wars Trivia Challenge. And that all libraries in Los Angeles are all having these big Star Wars events, and the library hired us to have a Star Wars Trivia Challenge. And we've put together this really fun, nice, spirited Star Wars trivia. You don't have to be an expert at Star Wars, but it's the kind of thing where everyone works in teams.
Well, you have the dark side and the light side. And so between the teams, they have to work together to get the right answer, which is kind of hard for the dark siders sometimes.
And a lot of people sometimes they don't like trivia because their mind will freeze. That's where the whole
That's
group.
me.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the group comes in.
Yeah.
So it's not all up to one person. And it's not like, so in the last command on page 15, what did Luke say to Han Solo? And none of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's the fun trivia.
Yeah, where you can be relaxed about it, and the people that are more layman fans, more casual fans, they can participate and not feel like they're completely losing out on this sort of thing.
Yeah, and there's different levels. If we get there and we see that there's a lot of really hardcore fans, and then we switch to our like what was the name of Yuuzhan Vong member number 3? Nothing like that. It's
yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if I can answer that question.
I'm
like, I got put on the spot right there.
Do you know what book series it's from, though?
You know what? Off the top of my head, no.
Yeah, it's a new Jedi Order book. So they were like, 99.
The new Jedi. You know what? That is kind of like my my guilty side of fandom. There is like I didn't take a deep dive into the books out of the Timothy Zahn trilogy because look, I failed English every year of high school. I'm not, I'm not dumb, but reading is like one of those things that I just don't like to invest a lot of my time in. And I know the people that do, they were so upset when a lot of that stuff, was kind of thrown out the window, but it's great that they're starting to bring some of it back. On a trivia note, my brother and producer Ian Savage does a trivia contest with some of the intimate Star Wars fans on Zoom with the Patreon member Dale Morris. And my brother out in Florida, who was in the Force Within Us and the Force Among Us, he won first prize out of 150 people at his work. He got one thing wrong, and I said, Josh, what did you get wrong? And the question was, what Jedi Knight did Luke encounter in Empire Strikes Back? And he said, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the ghost of Obi-Wan. And they're like, no, the answer was Yoda. And then they were chanting speech, and he goes, okay, I'm going to do a speech. Thank you to my brother for raising me on Star Wars.
That's awesome. You know what, Chris, we're not going to put you on the spot right here, but we'll ask you some of our questions.
Okay.
Some of our trivia questions. We don't want to put you on the spot, but these are the kind of questions that we're going to be asking. What is the 7th Star Wars film to be released theatrically in the U.S., not counting re-releases or special editions?
The 7th movie would be The Force Awakens.
The Clone Wars.
That's a trick question. Okay, so I went right to that. You said 7?
Yes. Now that was a trick question because everyone says the same thing. All right, you know what? Here's a chance to redeem yourself.
Okay.
What was? You can edit this part out too.
Well, no, this is a live show. There is no editing here, my friend.
What was the first theatrical poster to use a photo instead of illustrations, and what was it? The first theatrical poster to use a photo instead of illustrations, and what was it?
Okay, my mind, not even thinking about it, it was the head of Darth Vader for The Empire Strikes Back with the stars in the background with the logo.
You got it.
Okay, that's one of my favorite pieces. One of my favorite pieces.
Yeah, hey, the teaser poster.
I don't mind. Hey, I'm not putting you guys on the spot. I want to talk about this book. This book is incredible. Thank you for sending me a copy. This is great because when I pass away, my daughter's going to learn so much stuff about Star Wars from me by reading this.
Oh,
I don't
Did
even
you fill it in
know
already?
what's it.
Did you fill it in already?
You know what?
Or
No,
prepped it?
I filled it in my mind. I did not fill it in yet. And I should have, and I feel a little bad because I wanted to at least fill in the thing that's so cool about this book. One of the many things that's cool about this book is, what does the month mean to you? And you guys go through each and every month, and to me, it was just so thought provoking. But I want to share my experience with May, and I want you guys too. To me, my birthday is May 25th. I feel like my Star Wars identity is May, you know? And then when I found out that my wife's birthday was May 21st, the same of Empire's, I'm like, wow, this is kind of like a fateful thing. And George Lucas's birthday is this month. There's just, to me, May is not just May 4th, it's the entire month. It's really my identity as a fan, and it's something that connects me with Star Wars in the most personal, spiritual way, if that makes any sense.
oh, very much so. Very, very much so. Yeah, that's a great answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're exactly right. Even though I was born in January, I still feel like my second birthday would be May 25th.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. Not only what does May mean to you, but January. What does January mean to your fandom, since that's your birth month?
I would go right to January 31st, the very last day of January, which is when Star Wars Special Edition was re-released in theaters.
So you do have a Star Wars birthday month.
Yeah, I guess I do. That would be exactly, yeah. That's what I jumped to, because that was another resurgence. At that point, I thought, oh, okay, Star Wars fandom had a little bit of a bump with Heir to the Empire, with some of the toys, but will we ever get Star Wars 1977 back? It's like, no, we never will. Then comes special editions, and the whole world is Star Wars crazy.
Yeah, and it's been crazy since, right? I mean, there has been not really any lull. One of the other things that I liked about this, if I can open the page really quickly to it, it's a whole section. You guys know I've been to a lot of filming locations. I'm like,
Yeah.
This is just so cool. Filming locations for you. I'm sure you've been in the California one.
Yeah, so we've been to Death Valley.
Where they did the second unit shooting for Star Wars. They
Yes.
some of the Jawa scenes and
Return of the Jedi also, the walk up, the two droids walking in up to
Jabba's
Palace.
Yeah.
That was in Death Valley. And the Overlook, the Mos Eisley Overlook too.
Yeah.
That's exciting. And we've also been to Yuma Valley, which is where
the
Jabba's sail
Sarlacc
barge.
pit, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Were you guys lucky to get any?
Yes, we
foam?
were. Yes,
You
we
were.
were. Yeah.
Yeah, it's over here.
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say, get that.
you
big
got
piece of
foam from the Sarlacc.
We do.
And a lot of my fans are familiar with my trip to Death Valley because I shot The Force Within Us out there at Jabba's Palace, and the overlook to the Cantina there.
Isn't that a cool place? Was it very windy for you when you were there?
It was super windy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe because the elevation is so high. I want to say that's called, is it something palette?
Something. Do you know what that overlook is called? Something palette, Richard?
Dante's palette, artist palette. There's some kind of art, because when you're looking at it, it kind of looks like art in Earth, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know.
Here
haven't been there a while.
is a piece of the Sarlacc.
You know what? Let me get a close up of this here. This is that is a piece of the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, it's very, very, very brittle foam. And then after they finished shooting, they just said, you know what, it's a desert. Who's gonna know if we leave some things behind? And after so many years, the sand just covers it up and just digs it back up, covers it up, digs it back up. So if you're there at the right time, you'll see some of these pieces just floating around.
And you guys got that yourself, it wasn't like, because I know at Celebration they did a panel where people were giving this stuff away.
Oh,
I can't remember what celebration it was, but you guys got that on your own, yes?
yes, got that on our own. We went and just did an excavation, started digging around, and sooner or later, he bound to come up with some foam pieces.
Some people at that place got like pieces as big as an arm, I would say. Like
Yeah, they got some
pretty big pieces.
Yeah, it's hard to say. You'll never know how many more pieces are out there because at this point it could be well scavenged, or it could not.
Ah, that's great. You know, I gotta get out there. It is kind of in the middle of nowhere, as you guys know, and I have to get out there. You know, I got to comment on the artwork. The artwork kicks ass, and your story, Sarah, I read in the beginning too. And it's so cool that you have one of your first unicorn drawings in there. And my daughter is such a freak for unicorns. So the story kind of resonated with me. You know, my daughter draws all the time.
Oh,
She's
cool.
really into anime and that sort of thing. This book is cool. One last question I want to share with you guys: celebrity interactions. For you guys, what was your number one?
Wow. Go ahead if you have something in mind.
I want to say in 1994, I was at one of the first conventions ever that Mark Hamill had attended, and the line was very, very long. And I thought, oh, I'll come back later. Okay, you know, I'll jump in line. And the staff woman said, sorry, line's closed. And I think I burst out in tears. No, please. And she let me in. So all the afternoon, Mark Hamill kept looking down the line, kept looking at me, signing more autographs, looking at me just to see where the end of the line was. It just kept eye contact with me the whole time. I'm like, Luke Skywalker's looking at me. Oh my God. And then I got this part on videotape because I went everywhere with my video camera. The last couple of people were all surrounding his table, having a conversation with him. And then someone was asking him about the prequels. And he said, I don't know, would I play my own father? Would I be Anakin Skywalker? And I said, no, that'd be too gimmicky. He looks right up at me and said, yeah, you're right. That would be gimmicky. And went back to signing autographs. I was like, oh, I just gave Mark Hamill career advice. Oh,
That's an awesome story. Sarah, what about for you?
You know,
Ashley Eckstein, you got a ton.
I'm gonna say Ashley Eckstein, and it was one of the first times she had just started up her universe, and we were at LA Comic-Con, or Kamikaze, that it was called at that point, and she was running her booth. Like at that time, she was just building her universe, and she had a booth there, and she was running it, and we had asked to interview her as one of our first interviews as press, and so we interviewed her, and it was just after the season 5 of Clone Wars had ended, where she had walked down, like Ahsoka had left the Jedi Order.
She left the building.
Yes. And so, like, we knew we couldn't get any teasers or spoilers from her, but Richard, you asked the question. So what do you think Ahsoka did after she walked down those steps of the Jedi Temple? And Ashley thought about it for a moment. She says, she went and had a cupcake.
And she wasn't trying to be funny. She was like, that's what I would do. So I would imagine that's what Ahsoka would do.
Yeah. It's always crazy. It's always crazy behind the scenes stories when you talk to people. You know, meeting Mark Hamill, that was a magical moment. I think meeting 9 out of 10 Star Wars actors and actresses was. Hey, Keith is chiming in. May the force be with you too, brother. It's, you know, the two big ones are Mark Hamill and George Lucas. You know, when I met George Lucas out in London for the red carpet event for Revenge of the Sith, to me that was kind of like the be all end all, right? It was like his third movie of the prequels. I'm out there for a red carpet event, and it was a big deal, man, meeting him. And of course, because he's the man, you know, it's like you can't really get a bigger celebrity than him when it comes to Star Wars, you know?
Yeah, that's on everyone's wish list. When I was a celebration volunteer, I think the celebration 4, I was able to get into the showroom before everyone else, and he walked right by me. I put my hand out and I shook his hand. It was one of those things I didn't even think about. I just did it.
Yeah.
And he looked right at me. Like, how you doing? Oh my God. If I had thought about it, I never would have done it.
No, you did the same thing with Harrison Ford
And yeah.
at the Force Awakens press conference. We were like in this other anteroom area looking at costumes, and all of a sudden, it was way before the press event started, and all of a sudden, we saw Harrison Ford walking toward us
with his entourage
down the big hallway, but he was like leading them with his Harrison Ford walk, and you're like, I froze, but Richard like stuck out his hand and shook Harrison Ford's hand, and I'm like, damn it, after he walked by. But it was amazing. It was like, oh my God, it's Harrison. Like I was
yeah, you guys also have a big a big spot for autographs in here as well. I mean, I've got it. I opened it right to that page. I don't even have a bookmark. Are you guys big autograph collectors?
Not really, but
we know a lot of people are.
What we did is we just made tons of lists. What would really help to complete the journey of a Star Wars fan? A lot of fans are into autographs. They are into location scouting. We try to get a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Hit every single mark. And we also have checklists where you first saw Star Wars, where you first saw The Empire Strikes Back, and all the Star Wars movies. Did you see it in the theater? What theater? Did you see it on video? Was it DVD? Was it Blu-ray? Was it streaming on Disney Plus? So that way you can really write down every facet of your Star Wars fandom. So 30 years later, when your mind's not working as well as it should, it's like, where did I see Star Wars for the first time? It's like, oh, the Charles 1, 2, 3 in Boston. That's where I saw it.
But for those of you creative people, there's also some fun coloring pages.
Yeah, there's activities. It's like old school activity book, right?
Yep, absolutely. And crosswords.
And word jumbles. Yeah, I grew up with those Star Wars activity books, so we really wanted to get a little bit of everything.
Well, again, this is a product made by fans for fans, and it shows. It shows. You guys, it shows that you, even though you're not autograph collectors, you're thinking about the other fans and what they like to. And that's what I love about this book. This book is amazing. People can order it through skywalkingthrough-neverland.com, correct?
skywalkingthrough-neverland.com/book. And you'll see all of our books there too.
The other book, yes, the This Day in Star Wars History, 1 and 2. Very, very important here. Before I let you guys go, I have somebody that was on earlier, a producer of the show, Ian Savage. He actually wants to ask a question to you guys. He's not a familiar. He's not a stranger to asking questions because
hello, folks.
Oh, hello, Mr. Savage. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to ask because I was sitting here backstage. I'm like, oh, I want to go to Disney so bad. I'm a Star Wars fan, and we got to visit Disneyland in Anaheim. What is one of the things when you guys, this is Skywalking Through Neverland, what's one of the Disney aspects of the parks that you think people should not miss? Or one of the things that people should get on quickly? Because we had a great day. We went through the Millennium Falcon ride, everything, Rise of the Resistance. It was all amazing. But is there like a secret tip or trick or something you can give me for the next time I go, maybe?
Are you talking about like specifically Star Wars things?
Yeah. Galaxy's Edge.
Okay.
I would say Galaxy's Edge.
Yes, Galaxy's Edge. So for me, my tip would be if you want to make your day smoother, and just if you have the mobile order in your app, like look at the mobile order. You can mobile order Docking Bay 7. You can mobile order the milk stand, which is where you get your blue milk and your green milk. And today we did that. I mobile ordered. It was available for my time. So I said, okay, mobile order. We walked up to the milk stand and skipped like probably a 20-minute line. So
yeah, well, Disneyland's got that down to a science. It seems like Brian and everybody in our group seem to find out you can't just walk up and get what is it? The pineapple ice cream. What is that called?
Dole Whip.
Dole Whip.
Yeah.
Yes. You cannot walk
that
up
is
and
so
get
2019.
Yeah. You have to pre-order and then walk up.
Yes. Yeah. So that's a big tip for just making your day smoother if you're thinking ahead enough to do that and save some time.
And make reservations for Rise of the Resistance ASAP.
I know. I realize that. Brian Klein is sitting here waiting to talk, but yeah, we bypassed the resistance the first time we went, and it seemed like everybody was waiting there. And then we got through Smuggler's Bounty, or I'm sorry, Smuggler's Run. I can't remember what it's called.
That's it.
Probably we could have went through it like 3 times without people there. Everybody was lining up for Rise of Resistance. But thank you, and for giving me a certain little window of time. And I will disappear when somebody takes me off here. Thank you, guys.
All right. Good
right,
talking to you.
Hey, good luck with the trivia contest. You guys have fun, and thank you as always for joining the show. We love having you on. I'm on your level, and I love having you guys on the show. I cannot express that enough, and I cannot tell you guys enough. And this book is not going to cost you an arm and a leg. This is a very, very affordable book made by fans for fans. So head over to skywalkingthroughneverland.com and check out this book along with This Day in History, Part 1 and Part 2, because we all have phones. But when we have something that we could put on our coffee table and reference on a day-to-day basis, it makes it more special, especially for us old school fans that want something tangible in our hands. You know, I can't express it enough. So, hey, may the 4th be with you guys. We will see you on your next appearance on the show. Again, thank you so much.
Well, happy May the 4th be with you, and happy Revenge of the 5th.
Yeah, that's coming up tomorrow. Hey, I want to remind everybody to check out on May 6th. Again, The Force Within Us is going to be screening in Chicago along with a live Mocktails. That's going to be our next show, which is just a couple of days. But without further ado, I would love to welcome a rare appearance by my brother, Brian Klein. Brian, there's been so much news today. I've kind of delegated that role and responsibility to you. I feel like my email's been a little quiet with news.
Yeah, there was nothing.
In years past, I feel like things have blown up. I mean, you know, you're a collector like I am.
Mm-hmm.
Any sales that we should be aware of as collectors?
Most places have like GameStop and Shop Disney. A bunch of them had like 20-25% off. You use a code, whatever. You go there and it shows, you know, what you need to do. But pretty much today was spent with me just going and getting. There was probably 15 different things that had pre-orders today. You know, that's the day and age of collecting these days is all pre-orders and wait. The days of hunting in stores is long gone. So
did you take advantage of any pre-orders today?
Oh yeah, I ordered pretty much everything that I wanted. You know, I got it all.
Which is everything. I know you're a big Funko guy. Any cool Funko sales or exclusives today?
They had, GameStop had 4. GameStop is good with the gaming greats as far as they have like the Black Series, which some of them also come out through like the fan channels, but they put out some gaming greats like from Battlefront and Jedi Survivor. They all happened. Today was finally the day. I was off today. I didn't do anything, but at 1:00 I finally went and saw Return of the Jedi because it was the, you know, at 6:00 it leaves the theaters because all the theaters that it was in, Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be in there now. So when I got out of the theater, our friend Suds was like, "Hey, check this out! The game creates Funko ones at GameStop went live." So I'm like, "Cool." So I did that, and then just a bunch of the Black Series, and I think there was only one vintage collection one. But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of pre-orders that lately I've been able to space out, you know, because it says pre-order coming in August. Okay, cool. I got 4 coming in August. All of a sudden, I got 3 of them that were supposed to come in August came yesterday. So as far as I know, it's not August yet, right?
No. And, you know, are you running out of room like I am?
Yeah, but that's not going to be a problem because I don't know if I've really mentioned it yet, but this is, you know, probably the last time I'll be on here in this place because by the time we go to Nashville in a couple weeks, I will be out living in Sterling. So I'm going to be in a new house.
The last time we are getting the background of the Funko Pop displays, but the next time you're on the show, we will, we will see your new spread. Hey,
Maybe.
I am, hopefully, because I know our brother Barry Harmon just moved, and I had a meeting with him for some Machtails ICC new artwork that we're going to use for swag and promos and whatnot for that event. Cool. And he's in the process of moving, and I'm like, dude, it took me 4 months to unbox all my stuff that was in storage. I am so excited.
Wait a second, after you moved, because your basement was like, it seemed like it was like 2 years before you did anything with it.
4 years.
4 years. Okay, I think you said 4. You said 4 months.
No, I meant 4 years.
Okay, I was gonna say your basement down there was just a bunch of.
It was several years. Hey,
Okay.
I am so excited about you going to ICC Con, man. I'm glad that you were able to make that work out with your lady.
Yeah,
I do want to plug that show as well. An important date to remember for this month. ICCC is happening on May 26th for the weekend in Music City in Nashville. Mm-hmm. And you are going to be with me and Suds and your lady at the concert on Friday.
Yeah, see, Thomas Howell, who goes by Tommy Howell now, is doing a show at City Winery.
Yeah, with Dylan. Dylan's brother, who was an Entourage, and he was also John Densmore in the Doors movie.
Yeah, Kevin Dillon will be there and our friend Eric Stroud is, you guys know him from RFR as Eric from Nashville. He's actually the drummer for the band. So yeah, we're going. I think I told you that we're actually sitting like at the same table right next to you guys. So
yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. So for those of you that are wondering where or when this is happening, again, May 26th at Nashville. There's still tickets available. I don't know about for the concert on Friday. Go to citywinery.com at Nashville.
Yeah.
And you can get you could probably sit at the same table as me and Brian. Now, I want to ask you, I know Disney Plus had dropped some stuff today, including Visions Season 2. My daughter is an anime fan. This is something that I love showing her and sharing this with her, even though Matthew Rooney is the true anime fan of the bunch. Were you excited about any of that kind of news today, aside from the collecting news, or was it kind of flat to you?
I've watched season 1. I mean, I'm another guy too that, as far as one of my second other favorite, the things you can't see on my wall over here is all of my anime stuff I have. You could probably see a little bit. I've got like a whole bunch of like stuff for One Piece and Demon Slayer and what else do I got here? My Hero Academia and just a whole bunch of anime stuff. So I love season 1, and I probably watched season 1. I don't know, together. That's one of my things where I just put it on randomly. So I've probably seen each episode 15, 20 times. And so this one, I've just had so much stuff going on today that I haven't had a chance to do it. But tonight, after I get off here, eat, and just settle down for the day finally, I'm finally going to start watching it. So, yeah.
And you were happy with Vision. You were obviously happy with season 1 of Visions. I know that was authentic anime.
Yeah, this next one is a bunch of different animation studios from around the world, like Aardman.
I saw some stop motion stuff as part of the trailer.
Yeah, that's Aardman, that guy like Wallace and Gromit.
Yes,
that's the same studio that did that and like Chicken Run and stuff like that.
I'm excited about that, man. Yeah, Aardman Studios. Yes,
the season one was all actually Japanese studios that are known for anime and or other stuff like that, and then this one is just studios from all around the world. So yeah, I'm super excited. Anything like that, it's always been like my I've been I don't even call them like cartoons anymore. Like, back in the day growing up, around the same age, coming from school and having He-Man and Thundercats and G.I. Joe and Transformers and Brave Star and just so many different things going on. I've always loved the storytelling ability that animation has done. Nowadays, there's some animation stuff. If you looked at Bad Batch, the 2 seasons, sometimes when you're watching it, you can't even tell it's animated. It looks like it's live action. It's so detailed and so good. And the stories are so, you're able to do a lot more in animation. Well, this day and age with technology, you could do a lot of stuff in live action, but it's also animation too. Like CGI is basically, you're trying to tell me that CGI the live action Lion King there wasn't a single live person in that, but it wasn't animated. So, but yeah, I am so looking forward to just seeing the depth of, like variety in this one because of the different studios, and the stuff I've seen so far, I've already like loved it.
Hey, Brian, thank you again for joining the show. Thank you again for your friendship and producing. I am looking forward to hanging out with you at ICCC.
Definitely.
And man, may the 4th be with you, brother. Thanks again, man.
Same here. Thanks for having me on. And hopefully you're
always, man. Anytime I make room for you anytime on the show. You've been a strong supporter of mine for a long time, and I really, really appreciate that.
Thank you. I love you, brother.
I love you too, man. Thank you so much. Hey, without further ado, I want to bring on somebody that has got their technical difficulties worked out. Hey, Michael, have you got? Are you still having technical difficulties? No sound. You know what, man? I know you're going to get this right. Michael is here. Hey, I want to bring it back. Ian Savage on real quick. Ian, I know you got some kind of Star Wars date for us. As far as birthdays, what kind of birthdays?
Oh my God! As far as birthdays, I mean,
this
birthdays
is not Star Wars month, excluding me. Take me away from the pot. There's
Well, no, I mean, I look on Wikipedia, and it seems like everybody in Star Wars is born on May 4th. I swear to God, it's unending. But yeah, if we want to go there, do you want me to just ask a trivia question in general? See if you can.
You know what? Because that is what you are good at. That is your shtick. Let me get a trivia question out of this.
All right. Well, we're trying to split this up. So, I gotta
ask you a question. Are you smoking a joint or are you smoking a cigarette?
That's a cigarette, but I won't lie about what's next to me. So that's all right. How many Star Wars films were released in the month of May? Out of every Star Wars film that's ever been theatrically released, how many have been in the month of May?
Okay. So A New Hope. Let's see. A New Hope, Empire, Jedi, Attack of the Clones. Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith. I'm going to say 6.
Are you saying 6? Does Matt have an entry?
Did I miss what Matt? Or can you
your favorite movie, Solo? Solo, your favorite?
Oh shit! Solo was released on my birthday. Why do I?
So Chris Mock says 6. Matt says 7. I'm guessing, with adding one to the list.
Yeah, he wins.
So yes, 7 movies. So basically, all of the prequels, all of the original trilogy, were all on May 20, or May 20, right around that time. But yeah, Disney decided to go with the December releases, except for the Solo film that ended right after the much maligned, not in my opinion, Last Jedi. So yes,
I'm going to throw one at you. What film was not released in December or May?
Wait, we're going TV movies?
What?
Ewok films. That's the only thing that I think breaks the mold.
No, the Clone Wars, the film.
Oh shit! In like 2007, right?
That was released in August. Hey, you know what? I got Michael Brown is here. He's chiming in.
I can hear you.
Technical difficulties. I can hear you, but you can't hear me. No. Man, I can hear everyone but you, Chris. Okay.
Maybe in the settings, it's that thing where, you click like, hey, my microphone is
I want to remind,
like today I had to do.
I want to remind Michael to take out his earbuds. I know we did a dry run through this earlier, and we got it sorted out. That's the thing about technology, man. Technology is not always on our side. Man, Michael Brown's got so much good shit to say.
Yeah. No, I'm waiting to hear from him. Do you have any May the 4th memories or kind of staples? Has there something happened?
No, you know what? There's always this bittersweet
I mean,
feeling I
there's
have.
always your birthday. We can
Damn
get
you, May
over that.
4th. I'm like, you're stealing my thunder, May 4th. It's like, there was no film that was released.
It's like
on
my
May 4th.
mom being in December. She's the 21st of December. So it's like,
She's like, damn you, Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes, same thing. You know what's funny too? Here's a little bit of an answer, right? To Solo came out on my birthday. Shame on me for not. And I
right
saw it
now.
on my birthday before I went to the Cubs game that same day. Shame on me for not
Yeah,
counting that in the big mix.
Yeah, no, and it seems like you've been all over the place with these Ray games, man. How are you all over the planet, the country? You've seen almost 100 Rays games, man. What's going on?
I don't know how it happens, but it does. And you know what? Once in a while, my wife's like, "Hey, you're always complaining that you don't get to go anywhere, but here it is." Here it is. It's all set in stone.
Yeah.
But hey, here's the thing. Okay, May 4th, Solo was released, within the last handful of years after May 4th was a thing, but they decided to release Solo on May 25th instead of May 4th. So
Yeah.
what does that tell you? What does that tell you?
Well, no, that whole schedule of the release was really bad. It was too close. Like we all, as fans, we want it, right now, give it to me. But that one seemed like way too close. We had the death of Han and the sequel trilogy so far. He's already gone. We've had the, Luke being like, I don't care, buzz off. And so it was kind of a downer for that movie to come out, even though I like Solo. I really like Solo.
I like it now.
It's an adventure film. It's so fun. Like it's, if you take away all the ties that you have, like baggage you have as a fan, that movie is, it's not solid, but it's a good action movie, a good adventure
it's
movie.
fun. It's a fun.
I love it. But yeah, it got mired by the Last Jedi box office, I think.
I think it kind of did, but it was still made, and it's still something for us to watch and appreciate.
And I still want to see the sequel, not A New Hope. Don't get out of here, Twitter trolls, Facebook trolls.
Oh right, yeah, they're like, there is a sequel to Solo. It's
I want Solo 2, -9 BBY. I don't know what it would come out.
Well, Vader Girl's been on here before, and she's like, make Solo 2. That's something that she stands by strongly. And you know what? I know I was kind of sharp about it when it first came out, and it took me many years. But
it was weird. It was weird.
The timing of it was weird. I feel like we went from like, oh my God, there's no Star Wars to
exactly.
There's all this Star Wars. It's like,
well, yeah, I think that was the fans were like divided with Last Jedi, right? At the time. So
yeah.
Everybody's like, what the hell is going on? Or
it was like the Moses of Star Wars. It parted the Red Sea of fandom.
Yeah, that Last Jedi, I think maybe we can, on Machtails, we will consecrate Last Jedi as the moment fandom separated.
Well, I think that's kind of called a documentary that, that's going to be part of the documentary that I'm eventually going to get around to, the third one. And you know what? I am, Michael Brown is still with us in the green room. He is just having some audio issues. But you know what? It would not be normal.
Michael, if you can see the microphone where you're sitting, click the microphone so it doesn't have a slap. Oh, there he is. Michael.
Can we hear him?
Oh, we can't hear him.
No, it can't unmute your guest. The mic is not connected. It's saying the mic is not connected.
Oh,
man, you know what? This is kind of what Machtails is about. It's about
we're always trying to figure out some technical difficulties here.
And we're always trying to figure out life. Never give up. Hey, Boston Dan says never give up. Amen to that, brother.
Dan knows exactly. Never give up.
And Michael Brown is in a band. I wanted to talk to him about music, and we will get to that. We will get to that point eventually. But he's got a very, very busy schedule, and I was excited when we finally.
Because Yeah, you spotted him here in the recent, even clearly, like more than you did in the past. You watched Return of the Jedi, and he was
Yeah, I watched Return of the Jedi twice on the big screen.
Yeah.
In this last week, and I saw him as clear as day. He's the
Yeah.
Imperial officer right next to the bunker, and the thing is too, hey, there he is right there. He's the one to the left of the bunker. If we can get a little arrow on him,
Yeah,
it's right.
he's shoving that
that is
pistol right in the back,
that is Michael Brown
like a
right
good
there.
Imperial.
But this clip I took from YouTube, never give up. And Dale Morris, he guy says never surrender.
Yes. What was that? Tim Allen, whatever that space movie was. Never give up.
Kind of fitting for
Never surrender.
kind of fitting for the rebels getting out of the bunker there. Actually, somewhat under arrest to that degree. But yeah, the Force Within Us is celebrating the 10th anniversary. And I had the opportunity to interview Michael out in California, Northern California. And I do want to mention that there is a screening out in Northern California in Del Norte County, and it's happening at the beginning of June. They're having this cool convention out there. I think it's called the Forest Moon something rather. They are finally embracing, after 40 years, like, hey, we need to do something locally here. I don't know if Matthew Rooney has the magic to work up the graphic for this thing, but it is very Star Wars heavy. The Forest Moon event in Northern California at the beginning of June. They asked me to be a part of
indoor dirt somewhere.
A Return of the Jedi panel at the college. And they are working on getting the Force Within Us screened out in Crescent City. And of course, that is where they shot the bunker scene and all the stuff with Michael Brown. That is a Star Wars spiritual place. So many great things had happened there. There it goes. Forest Moon Festival. Save the date, June 2nd, 3rd. I'm hoping to be there in person. A lot of cool stuff. The Humboldt County and Del Norte County are sponsoring this thing. I can't believe after 40 years they're finally embracing what actually took place out there. Amazing. And you know what? Michael Brown's in the green room, and I want to share this moment with them, but we're having technical difficulties, and there is nothing we can do. Ian Savage, did you get a chance to see Return of the Jedi? Speaking of Jedi. Oh, yeah, whoa. My bad. I muted you. Start over.
Oh, no. Can you hear me? I keep leading into this mic that doesn't exist. Yeah, we went and saw it last Saturday. I took my son, and he's seen Return of the Jedi, and we put Legos and whatnot during it. But when we got there, he said, I didn't remember this movie being that long. So, yeah. But no, he stuck through it, and yeah, he kept nudging me because it was like an afternoon showing right after work, and I was like starting to huddle and fall asleep, and he was smacking me. But yeah, it was great. My son's I don't know, he's right at that age, man. He's that digital age, bad religion, digital age. But it was so cool to be able to share that moment with him, and just like you and your daughter, right?
Yeah, that was a huge thing, man. That was I took her out of school early.
Yeah, you kidnapped her and you took her to the movie theater.
And I felt like that was a little forced, right? I'm like, hey, we're going to see Jedi, but she didn't complain about it. She goes, Daddy, I don't love Star Wars as much as you. Should I be missing school for this? And I'm like, you know what?
Did she really say that? That's crazy.
It's like she wants to be in school.
She's an honor student in the present making.
in the making for sure. And but she was asking me questions. She's like, hey, Daddy, have you ever seen this movie before? And I'm like, come on, you know I've seen this movie before. And
Yeah.
just her observation on the film on the movie itself was classic. And I'm going to
Well,
include this on my on the new podcast episode coming out this week.
oh, okay. I was going to
Yeah.
ask you questions, but yeah, we'll save it.
Well, no, you know what? We got a little time as we are grasping.
Well, no, I was going to say, like, was there any kind of like Jedi wisdom that came out of anything she said? I won't
You know,
ask.
I think the coolest thing about it was when she heard Admiral Akbar say it's a trap. She looked at me and kind of laughed. Like, there's the line. There's the line.
She's like, this is a joke, right? No, this is they're all being depleted. This is horrible.
No, but she's like, oh my God, I actually I hear you talk about it all the time. She's like, I actually heard it in the movie. And then
Yeah.
and then the part where Leia gets shot and Han goes, I love you. And Leia goes, I know. Han goes, I love you. And Leia goes, I know. Danny laughed at that. So we're out for dinner afterwards. And, she's like, I love you, Daddy. And I'm like, I love you too. And she goes, hey, I could say I know back to you. So it's just cool little things that kids pick up, after being around their whole life. And, I showed her Size Snoodles, the original one. And she goes, is this the one that's coming up with the lipstick? Because she knows Size Snoodles wears a
I mean, yeah, the kids are what I live for as at least a fan of myself. My son, I've always been like, hey, here's Star Wars. And it's always a part of my life. So it's really overwhelming, but he's chosen that path. And it's really cool to see, like, lately he's picked up and has started watching Clone Wars, just like devouring it. And I'm like, Campbell, that's awesome. Like, he's done more work as a Star Wars fan for like Clone Wars than I have the entire watch. But like, it's so cool to share this stuff with the kids. And
yeah, it is, because it definitely connects us to our childhood for sure.
Yeah.
And if we don't do our part as Star Wars parents, we're supposed to spread the gospel. And even though my daughter's not crazy about Star Wars as much as I want her to be, years ago on May 4th, she was dressed as Leia. She was probably like 2 years old, if that, and she was just hot in her suit and crying, and it was one of those things where...
Oh, wait, what age?
She was probably like 2 years old.
Okay, yeah.
At best. And I was trying as a parent. And I feel like I failed, because I'm like, hey, I want to get my daughter into Star Wars like I am. Let's go to the library, because they always have something on May 4th. And she wasn't having a good time. And it kind of made me sad. But at the same time, it's like, as a parent, you cannot expect your kids to be hardcore into Star Wars like we are. One, it's not realistic. Two, if we think that, it's going to set ourselves up for some disappointment, It really, really is. But at the same time, it's like, hey, take him to the movie, even though your son was like, how long is this movie? You're like, hey, this is the end.
Exactly. He's like, wait, I didn't think it was this long. Like, well, I don't know. We're here already.
It's a feature film. It's like, what do you want me to do?
Well, yeah, but then when you get to the end, and it's the things that, like, I started to think, like, everybody calm down out there. Everybody hates something. Everybody loves something. Even back to, I think Return of the Jedi is one of the things that divides a lot of fan groups, where it's like the cute, cuddly Ewoks and all that stuff. So the Ewoks were involved early on. We got the Porgs, or we get a BB-8, or we get, any cutesy thing. Like, everybody calm down. The world's going to revolve. They're going to sell a couple stuffies or some whatevers, but we're going to get through it. Don't worry about the little stuff.
After seeing Return of the Jedi twice in the last week, I'm like, you know what? This film might be better than Empire Strikes Back.
Honestly, I mean, it's the first one I saw. I think maybe we've done interview talks before. Yeah, I think Revenge or Return. I keep wanting to say Revenge. Return of the Jedi. Well, the first one I saw.
The original name,
Yeah.
Revenge of the Jedi was, and it was the first one you saw. So, I mean, you're not alone in that, because a lot of people that are from the original trilogy era, they grew up with, like, for me, Empire was really the first movie that I kind of saw. Maybe I saw A New Hope when I was 3 or 4, but Empire for me, that was, and if you ask like Jimmy Mack or Sean Hines, they saw Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
It's always going to, like, the first one you see is always going to be the best film, or one of your favorites, because it was the first, it was the first, and it's one of those things that hey, you look like you got frozen in carbonite for a second.
No, I did. I stayed still. I just let it roll out. When I look forward towards Star Wars projects and people that are worried about like Lizzo and Jack Black and weird things, and things that don't quite fit into their narrative or socio-political structure at the time, whatever. Like, I don't know. I was the goofball that loved Ewoks and Return of the Jedi before I really truly knew myself. Hello, Machtails.
Hey, he's freezing up. Matthew, what are your thoughts on Jedi?
I mean, I love Return of the Jedi, and I did go to see it as well. I think I had told you I had plans to go. I went to a AA ball game last Saturday, and I was trying to get my buddies to go with me to the movie too, because like I live in the sticks, and it's like a 2-hour drive for me to go into Little Rock where the movie was playing, and they didn't want to go to the movie, so I went to the ball game, and then I drove back, and then I went back on Sunday and I watched it by myself, and it was great, of course. But yeah, I love Return of the Jedi. I like the Ewok stuff. I mean, whatever, it's cutie, but that's the whole point. It's like it's supposed to be like,
and I don't.
It's sort of like a Tolkien thing where like nature overcomes technology, or at least like the Empire using technology. So like that's kind of the point, that like the Emperor didn't even think about them because they were beneath his notice, and so I think it's cool.
Well, you know what? I don't even want to say that the Ewoks are cute. I know they have that stigma about them, but man, when you watch them, I mean, even Wicked's like, poking Princess Leia with the spear. They're throwing rocks at the stormtroopers. They're beating them with, like giant, tree branches. I mean, to me, maybe I'm like looking at it through my daughter's eyes, and I know kids are not super observant like that. But I don't think. And my daughter, I said, "What's your favorite part about the Return of the Jedi?" She goes, "The baby Ewoks." The Ewoks were cute, but I don't know about the Ewoks, but the baby Ewoks were the cute ones.
Dude, did you acquire any of the figures? Like, I know you guys are a lot of figure collectors. I really don't. And Dan, my buddy who keeps commenting, like, I haven't collected a lot of stuff. I got the Doc Andor figure from the Galaxy's Edge. I got 2.
Oh, you said carbonite again. You were in carbonite again, my friend.
I'm in carbonite. All right, I'll shut up. All right, nice show.
What? Hey, no, you gotta come too. You gotta come. Hey, hibernation sickness is a side effect you will have. That was another thing. My daughter's like, "Why is Yoda talking in tongues? Why is he talking backwards?" And I'm like, you know what? Do we really know why Yoda talks like the way he does? I mean, come on, Ian. You're a deep cut Star Wars trivia guy. Do we know why Yoda talks the way he does? I don't even know.
Oh, I think that kind of thing, and any kind of dialect with anything dealing with Yoda, will be dealt with the Mandalorian series or some sort of Dave Filoni. I don't expect we hearing Baby Yoda Grogu saying like, "What's up, y'all?" And like, and like, we're not going to hear that. It's going to be a deliberate thing.
Do you think we're going to hear Grogu talk?
Well, we will. I hope we do, because I've since the beginning, my son makes fun of me because I'm like, why do they have to baby goo? Why does it have to be like a real world baby? But that's my only complaint. I love the show, and Yeah.
Well, in the
Get
Tales
rid
of the
baby food.
Jedi animated, did I don't remember now. I think I was at the time thinking about it, but did Yaddle do the Yoda speak when she was talking in the Tales of the Jedi animation they did last year? I only watched it once.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
No,
Was she?
and we got what Visions Visions Volume 2 I have to sit here and digest.
But I mean, like you can go back to that and see if Yaddle does the talk. Like, is it a strictly Yoda thing or is it a species? I mean, I want to think it's a Yoda thing, and that it's like to me, it's kind of a joke on like mentors and academic types who are like intentionally obfuscating with their talk just to like confuse students. I think it's kind of a joke, or like a way for him to like sound more wise. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they could be, you know, and I don't know, you know, I know there's. See, you know what? I consider myself a passionate fan, but when it comes to trivia, like we were talking to Richard and Sarah and Ian, I know you're a big trivia guy. Like I don't necessarily consider myself like a true deep cut fan. And there's
Well, okay, I got one more on the way out. On the way out, like so we thought, you know, we got the Margaret Thatcher. That was 1979, so that was way in the past. So we have something recent. So when do you think, let me look at it and word it properly.
You got to word it like Yoda now.
Oh God. All right, hold on. Go back to you two and I will review. No.
This is trivia on the fly here. This is like if we're sitting at a bar and I'm like, hey man, let's pull out the
what year on May 2nd did California declare Star Wars Day? Most importantly, because Galaxy's Edge was opening.
What year?
Yeah, May 2nd. What year? It wasn't quite May 4th, but
if it was Galaxy's Edge opening, it would have been 2019 was when Galaxy's Edge opened, right?
Okay, so you got May 2nd, 2019. Okay, what do you got, Chris?
You know what was the question again?
You asked for him to say it backwards.
Yif, nerf, naf, naf, naf.
Maybe that was the problem right there.
What was the first year that California
on May 2nd?
May 2nd of what year did California declare it Star Wars Day? In coincidence? I don't know the big words. Come on, Matt, help me. You're a teacher. Coinciding with, you know, May the 4th, 2 days later.
Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna say 2005.
2005. All right, I already said 2019, Chris. Okay, on May 2nd, 2019, the state of California.
I'm really trying to get Michael Brown in this session here, man. It's killing me. I can see him back there. I've seen him reboot his computer 3 times.
Well, I think he's on a different system now because his name is different. So,
you know, I'm trying, man. I'm going with it. Hey, do or do not. There is no try. You know, and this is just part of it. This is where you know, this is where we start. This is why you guys need to join Mocktails from the Cantina on Patreon, because we will give you the Michael Brown content via that way. So you guys are paying. Boston Danny, he guy. You guys producing the show. You guys are going to get the content. You guys are going to get the meat and the potatoes. The Corey D. Williams. And I feel like it's a PBS infomercial here. You guys are going to get the Corey D. Williams interview. You guys are going to get, you know, I'm going to have Sean Crawford on, Yak Face. I'm going to have him on. And this is all exclusive content for you guys. So I want to thank all my Patreon members for their support. And you guys know what the show means to me. I know what the show means to you. And you guys know what you are getting. And guys, I want to thank you guys both for producing. Don't forget to check out Dan and Ian Have Questions, correct? Dan and Ian not ask questions.
Yes, very, very correct. Dan and Ian Have Questions. We're available on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, anything.
You
Look
could
us up,
probably
man.
ask your little black box from Amazon, and I don't want to say her
Yeah.
name because she's right over there.
Yeah.
You could
Well,
probably tell her to play Dan and Ian Have Questions, and she will get
exactly.
that for you. That's how accessible. You guys are 10 times more accessible than I am. I'm like the deep cut Star Wars fandom portion of the content, except for this live show. I want to thank Matthew for producing the show and all your hard work behind the scenes. Before I let you guys go, before I end the show and pull the Patreon name, what are you guys looking forward to most for ICCC? Matthew, I know you're only going to be there for my birthday, and that might be what you're looking forward to because I know you're not going to be able to attend the convention.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to. I mean, I will kind of be in the area on Friday, and so I kind of wish I could come because there's a couple people who I'd love to meet. I forgot her name now, but the Ula actress is going to be there. I saw.
Oh, yeah,
Femi
Taylor.
Femi Taylor. But I can't buy a ticket for Friday alone, so I don't know. I guess I'm not going to go. But yeah, I'm excited to see you all again, and we're going to go to that ball game over there in Nashville, and so that'll be fun. It'll just be nice to see you all again. But yeah, I won't be able to stay the whole weekend. I have other stuff, and so.
But it's something to look forward to. Matthew, you were going to be there on day one. We are going to kick off the weekend with you and so many other friends at the ball game. Now, Ian, you're not going to make the ball game, but what are you looking forward to most for this convention coming up?
Well, looking forward to most, it's basically just, you and Matt and, everybody just, hopefully meeting up with Matt if I can catch him on his lunch on a Friday. And, but yeah, just hanging out with everybody. ICCC is promising to be, a good con. So, and it's bolstered by the fact that I got all my friends from around the country heading out there.
Yeah, and you know what? It's really a really cool, laid back con. It's definitely a world of a difference between Celebration and the fact that it reminds me of the old days of Celebration, where it's not as high strung and it's more about the hang, and you could really get a chance to take in everything because there is not, so much stuff crammed down your neck. It's kind of like when Woodstock 94 happened. It's like Woodstock 1 didn't have 2 stages. You got to have just one stage. Everybody's part of the whole thing. Celebration, it's like there's 20 different things going on at one time. You really have to plan it.
I've realized folks out there in the internet verse don't hang out with Chris during a con because he doesn't care. He's on a mission.
That's true.
He's going somewhere where you are not. If you're going to the con at 9 a.m., he's already supposed to be there at 8. So yeah, if you catch him in a passing glance, say thanks, Chris, and he's going to run by because he's going to get a fig or some kind of.
Yes, I am always on a mission. Hey, I'm going to try one last time. Michael Brown. He's here. He's trying. He's been here the whole show, folks.
Yeah, Mike Brown. Yeah, no, he's been here, folks. He's been here the whole time.
Hey, Mike, we are going to have you on again. We got to get this bug worked out. Mike,
we'll have to get this right afterwards.
Well, Mike, it says that you're muted on your end. Can you click the mute button on your screen in the browser? Or?
Can you click? Hey, this is May 4th. Nobody has anywhere else to go. But
Mike,
okay, say something. Say something now.
Oh no.
Oh, he's still he's.
I was excited to talk to Mike.
But hey, I love the fact that he's still here with us. He's heard the whole show.
I know we're gonna get this figured out exactly.
He's
right
heard
after
the whole show. We will have him back. We will definitely have him back. And I'm looking forward to Boston Dan. I'm looking forward to Boston Dan helping me with what he is saying. Many interviews, yes.
You guys get to interview some fantastic folks, I hear.
Yeah, we're gonna do a live show. Hey guys, this is the last live show that we're doing on YouTube. We got the next Machtails show is actually going to be on Saturday, live in Chicago, and then we're gonna do a show live from ICCCon. So it's really strange that our next 2 shows.
Yeah, we're all in the same venue as far as hotels. So yeah, there will be a big something, whatever it is, it's going to happen Friday, I think.
It's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be a really, really good time. Matthew, it's not a show until we get sent out by the Robert Hines Band music. We always have to cue that up.
Are you going to do the name draw still?
Yeah, we're gonna do the name draw. Hey, I want to thank you guys again for producing the show and joining me and just sharing your thoughts and feelings on Star Wars and especially Return of the Jedi. I feel like we took a little bit of a dive in Jedi because I don't know. That movie made so much money in a week. Why the hell is that? I really don't know. Maybe they'll bring it back for May 25th. Hopefully they do. I know there's a lot of people watching tonight. Oh, you know what? Hey, Rich Brendel, you know what?
Oh God, Rich
is behind the scenes. He can join us.
Rich is the main man.
Yeah, you know what? Can we send? Hold on a minute. We've had so many technical difficulties. You know what? Can somebody send Rich Brendel the link? Because
oh, we need to see him chug.
We need to see him.
Yeah.
All right,
I got it.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
I think I'm trying to go quick.
Look out! Get your chug ready, bud.
Rich B.
You know what?
Facebook Messenger, Rich, it's coming. Oh God!
If we're
Even
gonna
though
do,
we're all over middle age, we still punk each other.
we have to have Rich Brendel join the show in place of Michael Brown. Hey, the rails have gone completely off. This is the Star Wars gods telling me, no, Chris Mock, you will embrace May the 4th be with you. And you know what? I have. Barry Harmon. Is Barry Harmon tuning in live tonight? We do this baseball style, 3 strikes and you're out. Somebody's getting Rich Brendel the invite because we got to do a cheer and a beer. Barry Harmon has got some really cool artwork coming up for ICC Con. Producer Suds, are you watching live tonight? And who is Mark? No, Mark Thrasher doesn't count. He's got to update his credit card. Michael Adams. Is Michael Adams tuning in live? I don't know, but you know who's tuning in live? My brother, Rich Brendel. Rich, it is Hey, it is time for a cheer and a beer, man. What are you cheering? What are you cheering tonight, my friend? Hey, it was your birthday yesterday.
I'm doing 2 things.
Hey, happy late birthday to you.
I'm going to move it over here so you can see me better. There we go.
We need multi-angles.
Multi-angles, and you know what? Rich was with us on Saturday for a double dip of the Rays game and Return of the Jedi in the theater. Rich, what are you cheersing tonight, my friend?
We'll do it to May the 4th and to the death of the nip slip.
Death of the nip slip, yeah.
I don't think it's there anymore.
Hey, I don't know. Is that something to cheers? I don't know, Rich. Hey, let me see. Hey, Rich,
in honor of what exists for so long.
Rich, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm doing a Fruit Force.
Oh, hey, that's a 10% beer, my friend.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Wait.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Is that a country band too?
Yeah, look
Good
at that,
stuff.
man. Hey, that is a good song right there. Hey, cheers to you. Cheers to you guys. I am your host, Chris Mock, with my producers, Matthew Rooney and Ian Savage, and my brother, Rich Brendel, who's been supporting me. You guys have all been supporting me for a long time. I love you guys. I really do. Hey, man, I'm Chris Mock, your host. And remember, check out the event on May 6th in Chicago. And I will also be live at ICC Con in Nashville. We will catch you guys next time on Machtails from the Cantina. May the 4th. It always sounds weird. May the 4th be with you. So long, everybody.